Let's copy this code and paste it here. I have already created a file here, web dash view dash pure. Okay, now let's say okay. So I did say that here we are defining the state variable. Then we have defined add to x and add function. So when we use keyword view, so this means that this function promised not to modify the state but can read the state. Okay, so it's basically reading the state of x and incremented y but not updating the state variable. And when we use pure means promise not to modify or read from a state. You can see that in this function we are not using state variable. So let's see what if we will going to write like this, as we will going to increment 1 in it, or just write short form x plus plus and now save it. So here it is, you can see the error, type error, which says that function cannot be declared as view because this expression potentially modify the state. So you cannot define a function as view because you are updating the state. And now see the pure function. Now let's just return the value x, and here it is. You can see that function declared as pure, but this expression potentially read from the environment or state and thus require view. So basically, when we are returning the state variable from the pure function, so it will give us error. So view function can read state variable but cannot write into state variable, whereas pure functions cannot read and write from state variable. Now let's move on. Pure function are used to write the data to the blockchain. No. View function do not change any state values. That's true. Okay. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is functions modifiers. Functions modifiers are code that can be run before or after a function call. They are commonly used for restricting access to certain functions, validating input parameters, protecting against certain type of attacks, etc. So basically they are working like conditions, some conditions checking. So let's see how we can define that modifier. let's create let's copy this code and create a file here, new file, web dash modifiers.sol. Here it is. We have just copied the code. So this is a contract. We have defined owner address. There is a constructor where we set the owner address from the global variable, which is message.sender. Ones who deploy it will be the owner of this smart contract. Then we have first see this function. We have a function change owner where we passing the new owner. So basically this uh, smart contract is about to transfer the ownership of this smart contract to other address. So basically inside the function, new order will be defined, uh, but you can see a new keyword only owner, which is the modifier. So let's see the modifier. In modifier function, first we use the modifier keyword and a function name. Then there is a statement, a require statement, uh, which is checking this message or sender is equal to owner or not. If it's not equal, then this message will be returned. Otherwise, it will go to the further. Uh, it will go to this line. So basically, what this syntax do, underscore is a special character used inside the modifier which tells Solid to execute the function the modifier is used on. At this point, therefore, the modifier will first perform the above check, then run the rest of the code. So basically, this tells the modifier that after running this line, if it gets true, go to this line which says that just run the remaining lines of the function, like this one. If there are other lines, so it will going to run these lines after this function. So when we add this uh, modifier in the function definition, so it will going to check this condition first, then it will going to run this line. Okay, one way to do this checking is can be copy this and paste it. We can also check it here also, but the disadvantage of this is if we have multiple function and we want to check this condition in all the function, that we have to rewrite this condition in all the function and that duplicate the code. So we can use modifier by just adding a modifier name in the definition of the function. So it will just check this condition and we don't have to repeat the code again and again. So let's deploy it and see how it works. I have removed the old contract deployment. Now let's deploy it again. I deployed successfully. Now let's change the owner. Okay, so we are checking this condition. Let's change the address and just copy it here and just change the address, and now try to change the owner of this address. So here you can see that you are not the owner because I have changed the owner. Who is the owner? This address is the owner. So if I just select this address and paste it and click this change owner, now the owner is changed to this address. And if I now click again from this address, it will give me the error because now the owner of the contract is changed. Click on it and let's see. I think yes, this one is owner now. And now let's change owner to the first one again. Paste it here and change owner. Sorry, select it and change owner. Okay, Now we have changed the owner again. So that's how modifier works inside a smart contract. Now let's move on to next step.